Of course, today's thought of the day is a very beautiful one, that living from the heart. So, right now, as I speak to you, my heart is beating approximately 70 times per minute. And of course, yours too. And that's 100,000 beats today, 35 million beats this year. But here's the question that will change everything. Are you just letting your heart beat? Or are you letting your heart lead? So, today we are going to discover the difference between living from your head and living from your heart. And trust me, once you understand this distinction, you'll never make another decision the same way again. The heart is the sun of your inner universe. When it shines, every planet of your life finds its orbit. Think about this metaphor for a moment. When the sun shines brightly, planets don't struggle to find their path. They naturally fall into the perfect harmony. So, similarly, when you lead from your heart, your relationships, your choices, your daily interactions don't feel like battles to be won. They become a natural dance of authenticity and connection. But what happens during an eclipse? When the sun is blocked, chaos, confusion, everything feels out of alignment. And this is exactly what happens when we disconnect from our hearts and live purely from fear, logic, or societal expectations. So let me paint some very familiar pictures. One, the marriage decision drama. Let's assume you're 25, every family gathering becomes an interrogation. Your head says, get married because everyone expects it. The biological clock is ticking. And what will people say? But your heart whispers, wait for someone who makes your soul sing, not just your family's social status. So, living from the head creates convenient marriages, and living from the heart creates extraordinary partnerships. Then the career crossroads. You're offered two jobs, one pays more, has better scope, as our parents love to say, and looks impressive on LinkedIn. Your head screams, take the money. But your heart says, the other job makes you excited to wake up on Monday mornings. Head led decisions create successful resumes, and heart led decisions create fulfilling lives. Then the friendship filter. We all have that friend who constantly complains, drains your energy, but has been around forever. Your head rationalizes. She's been my friend since school. I can't just abandon her. Your heart gently suggests compassion doesn't mean absorbing someone else's negativity. Living from the heart means loving people enough to set healthy boundaries. And then the mother's martyr complex. Ladies, how often do you say yes to everyone else's needs while your heart screams for just 5 minutes of peace? Your head says, good mothers sacrifice everything. Your heart knows that depleted mothers can't pour from empty cups. So self care isn't selfish when it comes from the heart, it's strategic love. So here's where it gets fascinating. Scientists have discovered that a heart has its own neural network. It literally has brain cells. The Heart Math Institute found that when your heart and brain are in coherence, basically when they are working in harmony, your stress decreases, your immune system strengthens, and your decision making becomes clearer. So it's not just poetry anymore, it's biology. Your heart doesn't just pump blood, it processes emotions, makes decisions, and sends more signals to your brain than your brain sends to your heart. So when you place your hand on your heart and breathe deeply, you're not just being dramatic. You are accessing your body's most sophisticated guidance system. You're tuning into wisdom that doesn't get distracted by what others think or by what you think you should do. So here's the revolutionary truth: every decision you make comes from either love or fear. Fear asks, what if I fail? What will people think? What if I'm not enough? On the other hand, love asks, what would bring joy? How can I serve? What feels authentic? So, if we talk about fear based living, choosing partners who look good on paper but don't make your heart sing, taking jobs that pay well but kill your spirit, or saying yes when everything inside you screams no because you fear conflict or disappointment. And if I talk about the heart based living, that is choosing courage over comfort, speaking truth with kindness, and making decisions that honor both your needs and others. Understanding that sometimes the most loving thing you can do is say no. And the beautiful paradox: when you lead with love, you become more magnetic, not less. When you honor your heart, people respect you more, not less. And when you choose authenticity over approval, you attract your true tribe. So, living from the heart isn't about grand gestures, it's about micro moments of consciousness throughout your day. So, before you answer that difficult text message, pause, hand on heart, breathe, and ask, what would love do here? Before you react to your teenager's attitude, pause. Hand on heart once again and breathe. Ask, how can I respond from understanding rather than frustration? So, before you make that career decision, that relationship choice, that difficult conversation, pause. Hand on heart, breathe, and ask, what feels most true? So, this isn't about being perfect. It's about being conscious. It's about be remembering that beneath all the noise of expectation, anxiety, you have an inner compass that never lies. So, your challenge, brave hearts, for the next 7 days before making any significant decision, try this heart pause technique. Hand on heart, 3 deep breaths, and ask, what would love do here? Start small, choosing how to respond to a frustrating situation, deciding what to have for lunch, choosing your words in a difficult conversation. Notice how different these choices feel when they come from your heart rather than your head. Remember this: your heart knows things your mind hasn't learned yet. It knows that kindness is strength, that vulnerability is courage, that choosing love over fear is a knife. It's revolutionary. The world needs more people who lead from the heart, not because heart centered living is easier, It often requires more courage, but because it's the only way to create the authentic, connected, meaningful life your soul is calling for. Your heart has been beating faithfully for you since before you were born. So maybe it's time to start breathing faithfully for it. So let your heart be the sun of your inner voice and watch how beautifully everything else falls into perfect orbit. So, with that thought, thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you.